It is the smoothie challenge for planted places. This is all about getting your greens in the winter. Get rid of those winter blues and bring in the winter greens. And so every day this week, we started yesterday, we did a basic banana one. Today I'm doing Mary Berry, and we're doing one every single day of the week. We're taking the greens off the wall or out of our planted box containers, and we're putting them in our smoothies along with a bunch of other goodies. And so let me walk through what today's smoothie is. This is a real basic one, and really a lot of what we're trying to do here is just teach you about how do you think about making smoothies, and so that you can just do this whenever you feel like making one. You don't have to worry about if you don't have ingredients with you, because there's a lot of different ways to do. You can mix and match. But today what we're doing is you always want to start out with your liquid, and so typically we're going to do an almond milk. So you can do almond milk, oat milk, coconut milk, or if you want to do dairy milk. Most people are a little sensitive to dairy, so I try to stay away with that and do an almond milk. It's low carbohydrate too, so almond milk's usually pretty good if you're on the keto diet or anything. And then we want to do a yogurt. I do a plain yogurt. Want to get some of that acidophilus in there into your gut. It's really good for you, good for your gut bacteria. And I do plain because when you do plain, you're not going to have all the sugars that come with your flavored yogurts. So we're going to do a cup of the milk. We're going to do half a cup of the yogurt. And then we're going to add a little bit of vanilla, usually about a tablespoon of vanilla. And then what we'll do is we're going to add in our powders. So this week we're using the Cho-Cho plant pea protein powder that last month we went live with Ricky, who actually just launched Mucuna Foods, and they have a plant pea protein called Cho-Cho, which is an amazing superfood, highest plant protein percentage in this, and it's amazing. And so we're going to go do a scoop of this. Every day this week we're doing a scoop of our Cho-Cho, but we're going to head and do that. I'm going to put some hemp seeds in there, hemp hearts. I'm also going to put some flax seed, because I want to get some of this extra nutrients in there. It's a great way to sneak that stuff into your diet. So I'm going to have all that, and then I'm going to add in, of course, my greens. So I've got some spinach, I've got some bok choy, I've got some Swiss chard. Here's some more Swiss chard. I'm going to grab that off the wall. I've got some amazing bok choy that I'm going to go ahead and cut up. So probably, 3 to 4 leaves. You can see these bok choys are pretty darn big. So usually just 1 or 2 of these bok choy leaves is plenty. Swiss chard has all different sizes. This one's got, kind of a lot going on here. This is a newer plant, but I'll probably take 2 Swiss chards. And then I'm going to add my berries. And so what I'm going to do, blueberries, and the interesting thing with your fruits, berries tend to be a lower sugar concentrate than other fruits. Banana is one to know, is known as having a high sugar concentrate, so you kind of want to minimize bananas if you can. But anyways, berries are good. Blueberries are great antioxidant, great superfood. So I'm going to put blueberries in here. I'm going to put some strawberries, and then also I go ahead and I always have in my freezer frozen fruit. So I've got frozen raspberries and frozen blackberries. So I'm going to throw that in as well. And because these are frozen, I don't think I'm going to need to add any ice. I think I'll be fine with that. And then the last thing is, if you want to, I probably won't do it with this one because I think the berries are going to bring in a lot of flavor. But a lot of times I'll add dates, organic dates. That is a great sweetener for a smoothie. If you do not want to have the high sugar concentrate, dates are great because they're high in fiber. It's really important when you are eating your food that chewing the food is kind of the beginning of the digestive process, and that actually the saliva mixing with the food actually initiates that whole process later in your digestive tract. So it's actually really important. The best way to chew your smoothie, honestly, is to put dates in there, because when you blend it up, the date gets blended up, but it's still a little bit in there, so it kind of makes you, kind of pause a little bit. But so basically, smoothies are hard to chew. So what that tells me is drink it slowly. She said 30 minutes for a smoothie. Don't gulp it down in 5 minutes. That's really important for your digestive system. So that's kind of the tip for today. It's the Mary Berry smoothie, and it is about adding your fruit, your berry fruit, okay? And like I said, you put your liquids in first, then you're going to put your powders in, and that's going to be your Cho-Cho or any kind of protein powder that you've got. And then that's when I add some of my fun, like flaxseed, chia seeds, hemp hearts, things like that. And then you're going to put your leafy greens in, and then you put your fruit on. And when you've got the frozen fruit, that helps kind of bring that that texture in there in terms of more of kind of a slushy, if that's the texture you like when you're drinking a smoothie. And yogurt is a great filler in a smoothie as well. Okay, that's it, everybody. Excited? Make your smoothie. Tag us on social.